You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports, we connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. No, maybe no, it's not Jedi. It's Lucas Smith. Welcome.
Well, you know, there's a dark side to the Force, Ron.
and I've heard there's a dark side to Lucas, but I don't want to go there.
Hey, we don't discuss that on the radio.
That's not something we're going to talk about this morning. Let me remind you, though, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Yes, it is National Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Well, I wasn't even going to say that today, but, you know, everyone else is saying it. I've seen it so much on social media today. How do you get around it? And being that my son sent it to me from the original, right? He's over there at Disneyland right now. I think he's working. Maybe he might even be at Star Wars Land. I don't know where he's working today, but he is over there at Disneyland. National Renewal Day. I don't know what that means. So we'll skip that one. Weather Observers Day. Well, isn't that all of us? Don't we go outside every day and observe the weather, whether we want to or not? Okay. Bike to School Day. Does anybody bike to school anymore? I don't know. I look in our neighborhood. I don't see anybody biking to school. So I'm not sure if that's happening. So we might not celebrate that one. But let's take a look.
I did 15 miles today.
To school?
Well, past a couple of schools.
Well, past a couple. You know something? I knew they wouldn't let you in. There's not a chance in the world that they would let you in.
Bad feeling about
this. Yeah, exactly. National Candied Orange Peel Day. Now, I don't want to cause trouble here, but you know what? Candied orange peels, you can stick those in a nice adult beverage, should I put it that way, a libation. We've had some of those. I think my wife likes it in a martini that she'll like that has candied orange peel in it. I just go with the straight vodka martini if anybody cares. Tito's, Kettle One, Belvedere, Chopin. I'm not picky when it comes to that part of it. And National Orange Juice. Well, speaking of vodka, National Orange Juice Day. This is a family show. I guess that when we're recording this live in the morning, we probably shouldn't be talking about all this alcohol, but I do anyway. Let's take a look at what the markets are doing today. Called Volatile Day, and we're going to talk about that. Why? Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 18 points. S&P 500 down 12. The NASDAQ is down 132 points. Oil up $3.79 a barrel. Crazy. Now, does all this matter? Here's the issue. So what's driving the markets today? It's pretty simple. At about 11 o'clock our time here in Southern California, if you're watching us record this live, if you're listening to the broadcast on ABC News and Talk AM 1490 KMET, you already know what happened. So the Federal Reserve is going to be increasing their interest rates by 50 basis points today. Does anybody care? what's gonna happen with that? Why is that? Is it meaningful? So I'm gonna share with you. No, the reason it's not that meaningful is we've been talking about this right along. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks that it's coming. And even though on Ron Siegel Radio we've been giving you this data all the time, well, the bond market's been watching that also, and the bond market has gone up, probably 60% already this year. So the bond market is way ahead of the Federal Reserve. The 50 basis points. Let's talk about that. The Federal Reserve is going to increase 50 basis points. Is that going to change whether you get married or not? No. Is it going to change whether you decide to have a baby or not? No. Is it going to change whether you decide to get divorced or not? No. Is it going to change whether you've got a probate or a trust sale going? No. What affects a person deciding to buy a house? Life events, not the fact that the federal. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, way longer than I want to admit to. Now, I helped the first person buy a house in 1983 outside my own family. 1983 was the first person I helped buy a house with financing. Okay. Since that time, I have never had anybody. Now, I know it's 20 years since the Federal Reserve increased their interest rates by 50 basis points. I have never had anybody come to me and say, you know something, Ron? The Federal Reserve increased by 50 basis points. I think I'm going to go buy a house. Doesn't happen. Had many, 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 many people call me and say, I'm getting married. I'm getting divorced. Unfortunately, mom just passed and I need to sell the house. Life events. That's why people buy houses. Maybe they want to work on their retirement plan. Again, there's all these different life events. That's why people buy houses, not because of the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve, I know they don't want to hear it. They're irrelevant when it comes to buying and selling real estate. It's what's happening in your life that matters. So the fact that the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates, okay, they're going to increase interest rates. Is it going to affect you? No, because the interest rates have already gone up significantly. If you wanted that 3.5% interest rate, well, you should have called me when I told you to, right? That's the answer there. Now, even though yesterday, and we'll talk about this in the mortgage minute, but yesterday we locked rates according to OBMMI, and I'll tell you all their information, but a jumbo loan locked at 5.036%. That's the average across the whole country. 30-year conforming locked at 5.522. Again, that's across 35% of the country. So you can't get that price, the 3% interest rate. Now, I can show you how to get in the high fours. We can do that. But you can't get that 3% interest rate, no matter what you hear on the radio, the news. It's not going to happen because not only is it not available, but again, if you even try to buy the rate down that far, it's against the law. So don't even try and go there. Now, the bottom line, though, and I'm going to also tell you that if you want to buy a house, property prices are up. We told you yesterday, CoreLogic came out with over 20% appreciation in the last 12 months. So that $500,000 house last year is now $620,000. Can't get the $500,000 price back. What you can do is take action today. You can make a call to a great real estate agent. I wonder if we can find one. Oh, yeah, Lucas is here. So you can make a call to a great real estate professional and get a property today. Start looking. You can also get a call with our team and do a strategy call and check and see what you qualify for. There's about 37 different items that go into an interest rate. So if you call me and say, hey, Ron, what's the rate today? I'm going to say for who and for what. Anybody that tells you a different answer, basically the answer is it depends. Anybody that tells you anything different, can we call that malpractice? I do, but you might want to, right? Bottom line is that it depends on how you qualify. So I'm going to get off my soapbox right now. Good morning, Lynette. Glad to have you with us. Robert, glad to have you with us as well. I always love people checking in so we can say hello. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, chatting with Lucas Smith, we're going to talk about your house could be closer to list ready than you think. Well, we'll talk about it. And why is it more difficult to get a mortgage financing in a divorce. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Sometimes I even turn the mics back on, or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Thank goodness Josh is back there waving a big red flag at me saying, hey, dummy, turn on the mic. Right? All he leaves for me to do is push one button on the board. And every once in a while, I get that correct. Not all the time, but every once in a while.
What's he saying? You keep on talking, but you can't come in?
Something like I don't even want to go there, man. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'm going to tell you what's going on in the mortgage world, but it doesn't matter. Why? Because it's Fed day today and the mortgage markets are going to go crazy. The 10-year Treasury, it's up 2 basis points. The S&P 500 is down 1181. The mortgage-backed securities are down 3 basis points. They've been all over the map today. And we are watching, what does all that mean to mortgage rates? Well, yesterday I told you, and I'm going to give you the disclaimer, OBMMI provides the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. That's a big part of it right there. They actually look at 35% of the loans that were locked yesterday because it goes through their site, and came out that the loans actually were locking. No matter what you hear on the news, no matter what you hear on the radio, on TV, social channels, anywhere, 30-year conforming loans locked at 5.522, 15 years 4.59, 30-year jumbos at 5.036, and 30-year FHA loans locked at 5.378. That's the number based on the OBMMI numbers. And I'm going to go back just because I can and go to January 3rd, 2022. 30-year conforming loans locked at 3.409 that day. So we're up about 50%, maybe a little bit more than that. The bottom line is, why is all this happening? Well, it's all got to do with inflation. And we told you last year that the Federal Reserve was way behind the ball. Now, I know that they're not talking about this in the news today. What do they talk? Well, I'm not going to go into what they're talking about in the news today, but I'm going to talk about what's important to you, what's most important. And it has to do with this inflation numbers, the inflation issues. And the Federal Reserve thinks that they're going to be able to have what they call a soft landing. That means they're going to get it right. They never, ever get it right. So what is a hard landing? How does that translate? Recession, maybe depression.
Yep.
Bottom line there. So we're going to see this going down. Now, I'm going to chat with Lucas Smith here in a minute about how this affects you. So we know yesterday, or we got this morning, ADP came out with their jobs report. 247,000 jobs reported. The expectation was for 400,000. Yeah, not good. Small businesses lost 120,000 jobs, while large businesses saw a gain of 321,000 jobs. So there's the issues for you of the day. That's what's driving the market. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Lucas Smith is in the house. Your home sold guaranteed realty at the Smith team, or is the Smith team going front?
Just your home sold guaranteed realty, buddy. We'll keep it short for you because I know you have a problem with big words.
I do have a problem with big words, and the name comes out to takes up the whole segment.
Our name is our promise, Ron. You know, your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it.
Or now you added more to it.
You know, you got to know what it means, right? Anybody can say anything.
Oh, okay. So one of the fun things, you know, what's really cool right now is Josh is over here in the background telling me that he can't see Lucas, but maybe that might be good. So I'm going to adjust the camera on the fly here. Thanks, Josh. So here's the issue. So Lucas, what are you forecasting for the next year? Is real estate values going up or down?
Down.
Real estate values are going to drop.
Real estate values and real estate prices, I believe we're going to see those start to come down towards the end of the summer.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
That's an interesting. You got me shocked there. What's the catalyst that's going to bring it down?
Well, what we're already seeing is with interest rates rising as they have over the last 60 days, especially here in Orange County in what they call a high balance or a super loan, which is between conforming and jumbo. That's that $850,000 to $1 million price point. And with the average price here in Orange County at $1,025,000, that puts most of the single family residence purchasers in that price point. which saw an additional increase in interest rates. So it's priced a lot of buyers out of the market in that particular price point. So what's happening then is we see homeowners who go on comps, historical sales data, what your neighbor's house sold for, in order to price their house. They price it how the neighbor priced their house when interest rates were lower and everything was hooking and booking. And lo and behold, they don't get any showings, they don't get any offers, and they sit there for 2 or 3 months before their agent has the tenacity to tell them, hey, this isn't working.
Interesting. Okay. So you heard it here first, and unfortunately, we don't have Lucas on camera yet. My camera's not working properly, but we
fix it
will.
at break.
Actually, I'm working on fixing it as we speak.
Okay.
Aha, there we go. Okay, so now we've got Lucas on camera. So, and Josh has the audio. So we're going to put in our show notes May 4th. Lucas says property values are going to go down by the end of the year, toward the end of the year.
Well, yeah, we're going to see some back off in the radical pricing increases, right? And we're going to see things start to level out. I don't
Okay,
use
now
the
you're
words
giving me
crack.
two different things.
I
Level out, or are they going to go? Are they going to? Do you think the values are going to drop? I think they're going to. I'll throw this at you, Lucas.
So perception, it's how you perceive it, right? If you're a homeowner and you're trying to sell your house, and all of a sudden the house next door sells for $20,000 less than you have your house listed for, you're going to see that as a drop. Your perception is going to be that that's a drop. My perception is going to be that's a level out in pricing.
So I think we're going to see. I don't know that we're going to see level out in pricing. Here's what I'm going to forecast, and I'm going to throw this to you. Right now, we're at about 21% appreciation is our year-over-year number as of yesterday from CoreLogic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to settle back down for the year going forward, probably about 9%.
Okay,
Still
which is
going
normal.
forward.
7 to 9 is fairly normal.
5.36 is our average over 63 years in Orange County. You're right.
Okay.
So I think we're going to get closer to that 9% appreciation.
Okay.
But here's the beauty. That's going to, if you buy something today, and let's just say we're going at $1 million purchase price because it's easy math. That means that.
And that's the average median home price here in Orange County. So.
Right. So now we go to, as of at the end of next year, it should be $1,090,000. Should be. That's just forecasted numbers. But here's the beauty of it is today I just shared with you, according to OBMMI, on that high balance loan, you're going to be right around 5.5%. That's today's rate. Now, next year at this time, and again, Josh has it in the show notes. If I'm correct, we will replay it. If I'm wrong, we'll just forget it. It's kind of the way it goes in media. Interest rates are going to be lower.
You think?
Absolutely. So here's what's going to happen. We might already be in a recession.
We're headed there for certain.
Right. So we already have the 1/4 of negative GDP.
Hard landing.
We're
headed for a hard landing.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it doesn't go to depression, but right now I think we're probably in a recession. We've already had 1/4 of negative GDP. It requires, most people say that the definition of a recession is two consecutive negative quarters of GDP. Actually has to do with another institute that comes out and they actually make the call. But let's just go with that. What happens to interest rates during a recession? They drop. Why? Because the Federal Reserve needs to do something to try and get the economy going again. So we may have stagflation, but what happens to real estate values during a recession? They go up.
Let me ask you this. So if that's your prediction, how much do you think they're going to go up between now and next year before they start to drop?
What, interest rates?
Yep.
I think we may see another 0.5%, maybe 0.5 to 0.75% more.
Okay, because 2 months ago they raised it 25 basis points, and we saw interest rates on home loans go up almost a full point.
Correct.
And today they're going to raise it another 50 basis points.
Correct.
And do you think that the full point that we've already seen was in prediction of this 50 that we're going to get today? Or do you think we're going to see an additional rate increase from this?
Perfect question. I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
So here's the issue. The biggest enemy of any kind of a bond is inflation.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why interest rates are going to drop when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Your house could be closer to list ready than you think. And why is it more difficult to get a mortgage financing during divorce? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the best home searching tool on the market, rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com, covering 97% of the homes available for sale in the entire country with no advertising. Your house could be closer to list ready than you think. One of the biggest concerns for a homeowner looking to sell is the time they'll have to put in before listing their house. If that's the case for you, you should know your home might be closer to list ready than you think in today's housing market. A survey of recent sellers from Realtor.com finds that many were able to get their house ready in less than a month. It says, quote, with many homeowners expecting a quick sale and in many cases a lack of contingencies, the preparation process took less than a month for over 50% of home sellers this past year, with 20% completing it in less than 2 weeks, unquote. Those sellers expecting to sell quickly are following recent buyer trends. With mortgage rates and home prices rising, buyers in today's market are serious about finding a home quickly. But with a limited number of homes for sale, there are very few options for those buyers to choose from. That means many may be willing to take on projects after they purchase. Because of this, you may be able to focus on less time-consuming tasks before putting your house on the market. According to the survey mentioned, some of the top things recent sellers completed before listing their home over the past year include landscaping, making minor cosmetic updates, and touching up paint. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of the socials, or ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a video or a chart. Small projects top the list of updates for recent sellers. 94% landscaping, mulch, planting flowers, etc. 88% minor cosmetics, updates, replace light fixtures, faucets. 87% touch-up painting. Our real estate advisor will help streamline the process and keep you focused. Of course, each situation is different, and knowing what repairs or updates your house needs to stand out in your local area is critical. That's where a trusted real estate professional comes in. In a recent article, Next Advisor explains, quote, real estate can be hyper-local and demand can vary from one neighborhood to the next. It's a good idea to work with a local real estate professional to determine an ideal listing price and if any improvements or repairs need to be completed before putting your house on the market, unquote. Your trusted real estate advisor knows the ins and outs of the market in your specific area. They'll help you identify the places where you should and should not, key right there, should not spend your time and money, and that can enable you to list quickly. Bottom line, if you're ready to take advantage of the incredible conditions for sellers in today's market, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Visit RSR Home Scout. There is a tab right on there for you if you want to take a look at what price properties are selling for. So there's a seller tab there. And there's also a tab that'll tell you what your property value is based on 4 different tools, including the one that is generally wrong. But there's 4 tools on there that'll give you the value. It's basically what a credit union is going to use to market your property. It's generally also going to be what we'll use for a refinance loan. It does not have foresight, though. That's what you need the real estate professional for. The foresight comes from that real estate professional who knows what's going on in the marketplace. rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Continuing our conversation, Lucas Smith, your home sold, guaranteed realty. So before the break, Lucas and I were chatting about the real estate market. Why did Lucas's question, if I got it right, was the Federal Reserve increased interest rates 0.25% 6 weeks ago. Interest rates went up 1%.
Yep.
The Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates 0.5% today. And why are we not going to see, a relative similar action on home loan rates? Well, we might see it short term. And that's why I say I think we're going to see rates go to 6, maybe 6.25. But the big issue here is inflation. So the bond market hates inflation. Interest rates, everything else hates inflation. Once the bond market gets to a point where it believes that the Federal Reserve has the gumption to get the inflation under control by raising rates, then they're going to start looking and saying, okay, now we've got this hard landing, we got this recession, and rates are going to start coming down. So they're not going to have, so they'll see the 0.5%. It's going to, in fact, here's where it's going to affect those folks that are looking at doing a combo loan, right? So if you've got a first mortgage and you say, especially in the Inland Empire, those of you that are in the Inland Empire, where you've got a $647,000, $670,000, I don't have the number in front of me, conforming loan rate, and you don't have the high balance that Orange County, San Diego, LA has. And you've got an $800,000 property, but you want to still get that conforming loan rate. What do? Well, you kick the conforming load and you put a HELOC on top of it. And the HELOC is directly affected by what the Federal Reserve does. Add about 6 points to whatever the Fed funds rate is, and that's where your HELOC's going to be. So Fed funds at 0.5 plus the quarter that they were at, so they're 3/4. HELOC will probably be somewhere right around 6.75 by the end of tomorrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of where our numbers are coming from and why we're looking at what we are as far as from the Federal Reserve and getting these different numbers coming out and saying,
So it makes sense to me, Ron, because I'm in the business.
Sure.
But let's lay it out for people. So what you're saying is, if you're buying a house in the Inland Empire where the conforming loan limit is under 670, and I believe that's the correct number, and you want to buy a house for $800,000, and you have 10% down, so you have $80,000 plus 670.
Right.
You have a gap of
10%.
$80,000, right? So you're going to do a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, based on the equity in the property that you're buying.
You're
and
actually
use
going to
that for your second in order to bridge that gap. And that HELOC's going to come in at quite a bit higher rate, but it's a significantly smaller loan that you're going to pay off at any time.
correct. And here's the big issue with that, and the thing that you have to look at. And again, strategy is where it's all about, right? So you may want to look at that HELOC and say, do I only want a 10% HELOC, or maybe I want a 15% HELOC? Why would you do that, even though it's a higher rate? Well, there's a price break on the first loan at a 25% equity position.
Right.
So you may want to look at it from that combo standpoint. We use something called a total cost analysis so we can identify it and see what your time horizon is. But here's the issue. Get into the property now.
Yeah.
Because interest rates are going to come down next year. Just my prediction. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't guarantee anything. But my forecast is interest rates will come down next year. And you're going to be able to say one of two things. I don't care. Or let's restructure this and get a new loan and save some money.
Well, and it's simple. I had this conversation with a buyer yesterday. I called him up. I talked to him. I said, hey, they said, Lucas, we're kind of, interest rates have risen. We're going to wait and see. Okay, I get that. Let me ask you, do you still need a place to live? They said, yes.
You know something I've learned just recently? Costs extra for a roof.
Cost extra for a roof. So
Right?
you still
Tents are cheap.
You still need a
but
place to
buying
live.
and renting costs extra.
You still need a place to live for
Absolutely.
your family, right? So you have to figure out, are you going to spend that time and money on that place to live on somebody else's mortgage or on your mortgage?
Absolutely.
Whatever the price, whatever the interest rate, the decision has to be, am I going to pay my mortgage or the landlord's mortgage?
Absolutely.
Because you're paying somebody's mortgage.
100%. 100%.
Right.
And the bottom line is who's going to get the appreciation?
Right.
If you're renting, you don't get to share in the appreciation.
You don't get any of that equity. Although I did see an article about how some renter thought he should get to do that.
Must have been in California. We're not going there.
Somebody who does not politically agree with me, and we're not going to go there. But yes, that was that type of person writing this article who said they should get to share in the equity because they pay their landlord rent.
Unbelievable. It's crazy where these things come from. I don't know sometimes where they come from, but yeah, Lucas was 6'4". I think I'm looking right here. FHFA 647,200 is the 2022 number. So I was
for Inland Empire.
Yeah.
So then it's 670 here.
No.
What's the conforming in OC then?
Conforming is going to be the same, but the high balance goes to 970.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 970 here in Orange County, and I'll have to look at the other areas. FHA, though, just remember, FHA does not always follow the same numbers. So just be aware of that. So when we're looking at the FHA loan, that first-time home buyer, and remember, I shared this yesterday when we were talking with our friends from Home Scout. There's 362, I think, down payment assistance programs in the state of California. 362. Which one do you qualify for? I don't know. So I haven't talked to you yet. But
it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
It really does. It depends on where you live, what your income level is, what you do for a living. Right?
100%.
All those programs are available, and it depends on when you apply, because a lot of them are funded by city or state governments that have a limited amount of time in their fiscal year to distribute that money. And when they get towards the end of their fiscal year, they run out of that money.
Yeah, they run out. Yeah, big
time. At the end of the fiscal year. So this is an important point to know.
So you have to understand, and all that comes from having the area trusted professionals talking to you. And what is your area trusted professionals? We talk about that. Again, it's one of those things that we have for Ron Siegel Radio, right? It's the lender. It's the realtor. It is the tax person. It's your trust attorney. It's your insurance person, right? All of these people are part of your household board of directors.
Well, and Ron, truly, who you work with matters.
Absolutely.
Who you work with matters. I mean, look, your average agent, right? According to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, sells somewhere between 1 to 4 homes per year.
I'm going to challenge that one.
Okay.
Orange County. Here's some.
I'm
just
going by NAR statistics.
No. I'm going to just give you a number for Orange County. There's little over 19,000 licensees, licensed real estate people with a license.
Between OCAR and PWR.
In Orange County.
Yep.
and there's about 10,000 transactions a year. So that means the average agent is actually doing a half.
Understand,
right?
Nationally, 1 to 4 transactions a year is what the average agent does.
Unbelievable.
So if you're making your biggest investment and your biggest purchase, you want somebody who's been doing loans since the 80s, right? You want somebody who's a real estate professional who does at least 1 to 4 transactions a month.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that
not cousin Vinny who has a license or who is a lender and does 1 loan a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's amazing how that happens. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the Better Outcomes segment. Why is it more difficult to get a mortgage financing in a divorce? And more with our conversation with Lucas Smith. You can reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Better Outcomes segment today being brought to you by mycdlp.com, mycdlp.com. Why is it more difficult to get mortgage financing in a divorce? Now, I'm going to give you some headlines or highlights of the story that we published or we are publishing. Be able to get this all on Ron Siegel Radio, on the Facebook page, on Instagram, on Twitch, I think it is, on LinkedIn, all the socials. or you can go to rsrloans.com. You'll see it there too. Trying to obtain and structure a mortgage can be frustrating for divorcing homeowners. Why? Well, here's the issue. It is a dissolution of a community. You're being the husband and the wife, right? Man, woman, man, I don't care, whatever it is, whatever you're doing.
A partnership. It's
partnership.
a dissolution of a partnership.
Yep.
That's not just physical and emotional. It's financial. It's everything.
Everything, 100%.
100%.
So you're going from either a 2-income household, 1-income household, a household into at least 2 new households. So the money is being divvied up in some manner. You have to look, can you qualify for a new mortgage? Can you qualify for the equity buyout? Can you qualify? Do you understand all of these things? That's where the challenge comes. Now, it's a pretty in-depth report that we published yesterday. So you'll be able to see the whole thing. I recorded it yesterday because I knew that I wanted to talk more with Lucas today. But you're selling the marital home, splitting the proceeds, a lot that goes into it. And the first place you're going to want to start, mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com. And I'm not getting involved with the whole divorce team well in advance of the process. So fill out the mydymworkbook.com, send it back to us. We'll send you a report that'll give you a whole lot of information for the whole divorce team. That is the Better Outcome segment brought to you by mycdlp.com, mycdlp.com. Continue our conversation with Lucas Smith, chatting about where's real estate going in the next year. So Lucas was spot on talking to people recently when he was relaying his conversation from yesterday. Costs extra to have a roof over your head. That's my part. But you're going to pay your mortgage or somebody else's if you're going to do that. And you know, Lucas, I maybe I'm a little more crass than you. You're more polished than I am. When you went
maybe.
When you went through your whole explanation of paying somebody else's mortgage and whatnot, and you're correct. You're totally correct. The other question I ask people right now, okay, what do you want to wait for? Do you want to wait for property values to increase, or do you want to wait for interest rates to increase? Which is it that you want to wait for?
Right.
So right now, you may have lost out on an opportunity to buy $1 million home. Maybe, I don't know. But you still need that home. You still have the same need for a roof over your head. So now maybe that is you need to buy a $900,000 home.
Yep.
Right? You got to look, and that's where you need that professional. First step, my world, you start off with a lender, right? Find out what your budget is. And I know that you're out shopping before you even call the lender. rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Now, do I believe that you should be buying a house without a professional realtor? Not a chance in the world. And yes, I have a license. I am not qualified as a professional realtor. I'm one of that 19,000 people that has a license in Orange County, California, and does not do transactions because I am not qualified. It takes many, many hours to study the real estate contract. It takes a lot of time to spot. I'll give you an example. Lucas is one. Had a family that's been shopping for several months now, put in offers, bought a house with an agent out in the valley, and they said, you know something, we want to make sure we do our inspection before we go very far. They found out during the inspection that there was a unpermitted area in the back that was also on a landslide area.
Oh,
right.
That's not good.
Now, that didn't show up in the pictures on the internet.
No.
Right. So having that professional agent telling you, let's go slow. We want to make sure we get this home inspected, this property inspected before we go too far. And you know, we understand that's probably about $200,000 worth of work.
Well, yeah, because out there in the valley, not only do you have to do a home inspection, but you have to have a city or a county pass off inspection before you can complete the purchase. And if you're not savvy and your agent's not savvy, you're going to get all the way to the end, and the county is going to say, "Hey, it's $200,000, but when you close, if you want us to sign this off."
Yeah. So again, now do I know that? No, I'm not a real estate agent, right? As a lender, I just look at it and say, health and safety, red flag, no loan. Pretty simple, right? But the agent knows that. So when I talk to you about going to rsrhomescout.com, You can start doing shopping in there. You can see the properties that are available real time from the MLS. But you have to have the professional real estate agent to consult with. You don't need a real estate agent to find a property. You need that real estate agent to protect you from the time you find it until you close, because there's I don't know what's the disclosure package now on real estate, 30 pages or something.
Yeah, it's about 50 pages.
50 pages of disclosures.
Yep.
I thought we were bad at 37 on the lending side.
Yep.
Right. So how are you going to understand all that? It's all written in legalese, right? And it's meant to trick everybody. I mean, you have to have an agent that say, Lucas, can you translate this into English for me?
Yep.
Right. And when the new contract came out in December, the latest version.
Yep.
How many hours of studying and training did you go through before that was even implemented?
I went through about 6 to 8 hours of training on the contract, on the 8-page contract itself before the contract came out.
Right. So 8 hours of training on that. And you think you're going to do that online by yourself?
And I've been doing this for 11 years.
Right. So line one might have been the same as it was before. So he didn't need to learn that all over again. Right. Where I used to say to everybody that you check box J4 if you have no loan contingency. That's box L something or another now.
Yeah.
Right. And they've actually put in a new thing where on the contract, and it's one of the only things I know about it. Right, so as a lender, we only look at a couple things. We want to know the price. We want to know the contingencies, the escrow time. But there's a box there that says, has the file been pre-underwritten?
Yep.
Right. That's a new modification there. So that's another reason you can't do that. You can't be pre-underwritten.
Well, there's two boxes. One says, do you have a pre-approval or are you pre-underwritten?
Right.
And you check one of those boxes.
There you go. So if you're going and calling your agent and saying, hey, Lucas, I just saw 123 Main Street. It's online. Can we go see that today and make an offer? Well, how's he going to answer those questions? Right. And if you've got multiple offers, and we saw that the National Association of Realtors came out earlier this week or last week, said 4.8 offers per listing. Okay. If you got it now, good agents, you do listings also, not just help buyers, right?
Primarily, yes.
Are you going to entertain an offer that doesn't have a pre-approval letter?
Never.
Right.
Never.
Not even give it a second thought. Now, does a pre-approval or pre-underwrite? Which one has more weight?
If you don't have a pre-approval letter from a qualified lender that we're familiar with in the industry, if you send me one from Joe's Lending Shack, we might not do business.
So I had somebody walk into my office yesterday. You'll love this one, Lucas. So they came to me and they said they were asking me about a specific loan type, and I said no, that's not available. And it's a very major credit union. I'm not going to say which branch in the military. I shouldn't say that far. But they came in there and they said, we called and nobody answered the phone. And we went to the extension. There's an 800 number with an extension. We went to the extension and there wasn't even a voicemail. Now,
what people don't understand is that's not the credit union's primary business. You can go to your bank. I won't name any names, but you can go to your bank or your credit union and they can do a home loan, but that's not their primary business.
Sure.
And the person that you're sitting there doing that loan with, they're the cousin Vinny of lenders. I'm sorry. They're less qualified. They're less trained. And maybe 2 weeks ago, they were a teller.
That happened with my son.
Right?
I'm just saying, and I love my son
I'm not
dearly.
against them, and I've done a lot of deals with bank and credit union loans.
Sure.
You just have to understand that the person you're dealing with isn't going to answer the phone on weekends. They're not going to answer the phone after 5, and they're not going to know as much as somebody like Ron.
So, and like I say, my son, I've mentioned this on air before. My son worked at a big flag bank. I'm not going to say which flag it is, but he worked at the big flag bank. And exactly what you're saying, he started out hired as a teller, became a personal banker. Don't know how that part. Then ends up doing loans.
Well, he's your son, so that qualifies him, right? I
Right,
mean, he grew up with you doing it.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, you don't get that. There's a lot of experience that goes into it, and you're spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. So you want a qualified real estate professional helping you. You need you need your whole team, your household board of directors. And that's why I say all the time, if you're anywhere in the sound of my voice, call me and I'll put you in touch with a great lender, because it's what we do. We look at the back end statistics and say, do they close loans or close transactions? Are they doing listing sides? Are they doing buying sides? Are they doing double ending? How long have they been doing it? Transactions, all these statistics that most people don't spend the time to look at. That's what we do. And that's why I bring a lot of great lenders or great realtors on the show. We only have one great lender.
Yeah, we have an expert lender already on the show.
Right. I really appreciate Lucas coming on. If you want to meet Lucas Smith, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.